I don't know anymore, man. I just don't understand. How many times do these people need to be told? Is it an IQ thing? I mean, honestly, is it an IQ thing? It's almost like they have no notion of what greed actually looks like. More specifically, strategic greed. They are the laziest, low-resolution thinkers. All these liberals, every single one of them that says what you're about to hear, just watch.
One of the silly arguments that I hear a lot on online is that Carney somehow is funneling money into his accounts through Brookfield, when the reality is that he gave up a very lucrative position as chairman of the Brookfield Asset Management, where he would have earned millions of dollars to become Prime Minister of Canada, where he's earning a fraction of that salary. So, the idea that he is doing this for the money doesn't make any sense, because if he was interested in the money, he would still be in Brookfield, and he would be making millions of dollars, not the salary that a prime minister gets. So I don't believe it for a minute, and you shouldn't either, because reality, it's not based on facts. It's just based on another conspiracy theory, and we know where they mostly come from, and then we put them to sleep because they're not based on reality. So when you hear that Carney somehow is making more money through Brookfield by being prime minister, it doesn't make any sense at all. If he wanted money, he would have just stayed in Brookfield, and that's the facts.
You just heard it. It's a conspiracy theory. It's all conspiracy theories. We know where all these mostly come from. That's the facts. That's the facts. This dude, like so many boomers, has not checked one fact. Not one. All he did was just tell you what he believed, and he calls that facts. Now, this is not a uniquely left liberal thing. We do this on the right too. The problem is that when we do check and then show it to these lefties, we tell them, look, and they go, no, it's all conspiracy. That's the mark of a lazy mind. That is the mark of an ignorant mind. It's not, I think it's fake, so it's fake. Because conspiracy. This is exactly the problem we have in Canada. It is the core problem. On the right, or center even right, we keep running into these lifelong liberal boomers whose idea of greed is basically still a bag of cash in like a dark room somewhere. That's their notion of, I don't see any cash. No problem. There's no conspiracy here. That's the level of villain that they understand. And that's the problem. They don't just embarrass themselves. No, these people even vote based on that faulty understanding. They put profiteering in charge of this country and then basically defend them because nobody ever caught these walking out with wads of cash or bags of money. To them, that's corruption. So this dude's argument is simple. Carney gave up a lucrative job. He owns a smaller salary now. And if he wanted money, he would have stayed at Brookfield, right? Right. There's just a problem with that. He quit his job, but he didn't quit the money. Those are two different things. And this guy, like so many boomers like him, and I hope you're watching, don't understand that there are different things. For example, pull up Brookfield filing to the American Securities Regulator. It's a public document. As of December 31st, 2024, Carney is still holding $6.8 million US in stock options in Brookfield. Today, that would be roughly about $9.5 million. Those are called exercise options. So let's talk about the way that this guy, and so many like him, are talking about why there is no potential here for corruption, and it's all conspiracy theory. Let's look at the Prime Minister's salary. His salary is $435,000 a year. Let's assume, for the record, that Carney gets to stay in government for 10 years. Multiply that by 10. We're at $4.3 million for Mark Carney for being a prime minister. That's 10 years, and it's less than half than what he already holds with Brookfield, and none of this is matured. Remember that. That investment grows. It doesn't stay at that amount. 4.3 million, 10 plus million up until 2033. It's not conspiracy here. It's just math. 10 years running Canada, $4.3 million. Just one possible fund payout, tens of millions of dollars. And this guy that you just watched looked at the salary and said, yeah, I'm satisfied. There's no corruption here. And then he stopped thinking. And that's how all these people, these boomers, these aged, these people that don't understand that villains aren't from the way you used to think they were. They're more savvy. This is how you guys keep getting played. You guys just count like their paychecks as corruption. Like, oh, if the prime minister got $600,000, that's corruption. No, forget the paycheck. I'm telling you what he's doing. What he's doing is he's facilitating those sectors or categories of things that Canada wants to build on using public money. And the company that he has his investments in and that he used to chair is literally the leader in all these sectors. And they can benefit from massive subsidies from the government. So is he paying himself directly? No. That's what an idiot would think. That's what an old villain mentality thinks. The way you do it is that you have a shit ton of investments in that company. You don't give them any money, but you fast track everything that would help them make a lot of money. That's how it works. The guy has $10 million that we know of, okay? That we know of. It could be a lot more. We are dealing with, honestly, Thomas Sowell said it best. Con men have long known that their job was not to convince the skeptics, but to enable the gullible to continue to believe whatever they want to believe. Their job, Carney's job, is not to try to convince people like me. His job is to keep people like you guys, you boomers, that they mean well because they look well, not because villains, come with pitchforks and paint on their face, but because they look respectable. And that's what you fall for. That's what all you people stuck in the past fall for, as if it matters anymore. I don't care about my side. I don't care about your side. What you should care about is if these people have set up a system that you are falling for because they wrap it and make it sound nice. I don't need you to be paranoid about everything. You need to start digging into things. And you cannot stay this ignorant anymore just because you have a feeling.